everyone, welcome to a new series. We are going to be colouring in Rita Berman's Meine Reise Durch Europa book. Now there is a double page of smaller pictures. I'm going to do this page. Whether I do this page straight after or not, or leave it for another time, I'm not sure yet. I will just see how I get on, what people might ask me to do, etc, etc. So I'm just going to start and do these 9 in this series, and whether I do the other 9, we'll see. I mean, I will do them at some point, I'm sure, but I just really particularly adore the ones on this page. So I've seen a lot of people doing these as tutorials, but I just really want to have a go myself. So yeah, so I thought I would just have a go, and it just makes a nice little sort of morning series really, because they're quite small, and having coffee first thing just feels right, doesn't it? So we have our bean grinder, our coffee pot and our cup. It's a rather nice little picture. I've got my Polychromos. I feel like I was going to use my castles, and then I realised I've been using them quite a bit, so I thought I'd switch to Polys today for this whole series. Keep with the same pencils throughout. And I also, because this is going to be silver, I wanted a set that I could make silver from, and Polychromos is that set. So I'm going to make a start actually with the coffee pot. My husband's got one of these actually. I'm just going to sneeze, hold on. Right, let's get that sneeze out of the way. I'm going to start with a sort of mid-grey. This is cold grey 3. And which way is it best to hold it? That way. And I'm going to sort of start some of the shading and area on here, and then I will use a darker one as well. Now I'm looking at the shape. Firstly, we've got our spout. This inner bit's going to be a bit darker, so I'm not going to use this colour. But I'm thinking I'm going to start with the edge here and the edge here, and then I'm going to fade the colour towards the middle a little bit to try and make our spout look a little bit rounded, because it's not going to be completely flat. We can do the same on our lid by putting a little more here and then fading it towards the middle, and the same on this side. Now when I've finished with this colour, and I'm sort of going to do all the bits, I'll come in with a darker one and we'll do a little bit more. So this isn't a sort of final piece. And around the edge of the top handle, I guess it is. Now I always find that I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do that under bit, I want that to be darker. Is the handle metal, is it black? Black, right, sorry. Just erase that bit. It shouldn't matter too much because we're going to cover it with a darker colour. Sorry about that. I think that's a black plastic handle. I'm trying to think about the shape of these. These are dipped in, but are these sticking out? They look to me like they're supposed to be sticking out. So I'm going to colour them like that. So a bit darker here and lighter towards the middle. Whereas if we colour them as if they're inwards, we'll do it differently, and I'll show you on the bottom one. I feel like they should all be sticking in really, but it just feels like the way they're drawn. It should be like this. Yeah, always try and leave a bit of white. That's what I was trying to say before I distracted myself with doing it wrong, because it just helps to show the shine a little bit. So here I'm going to leave it in the middle there, and then a bit there, like that. See here, I think these are dipped in, so we want a lot of dark here. We'll put in some darker pencil as well, and then lighter in the centre. Does that work? No, it needs to be darker in the centre, doesn't it? And lighter on the edges a bit. Sorry. So darker under here and here, and then lighter towards the edges. We'll once we've got another colour grey, it'll hopefully make sense. And then the bottom, I think I'll just put a little bit of shine in the middle of each of these little bits. A little bit of white. Like that. Now we'll go for a darker grey. A cold grey again. I find cold grey is much better at looking silver than warm grey. This is the cold grey 5. Is that going to work? No idea. Now I'm going to do the spout first. I'm going to make it a little darker nearer the bottom. A little lighter on the edge. And then we're going to just darken up the edges just a little bit. The same on here. I'm not going to do too much up here, a little bit. I'm not going to do the top of the handle, I think that'll be reflecting the light. A bit of dark here and here. Like that. Now under here, because I think this is sort of sticking out a bit, I'm just going to blend that in a bit, it's a bit messy. I'm going to put a sort of shadow under here, like that, and down here on this edge. Now here, under here, I think needs to be quite dark. And then it looks more like it's dipped in like that, a little bit here and here. Now let's do the handle, get my black. Now I want 2 shades of black, which sounds a bit, some sets come with 2 blacks, but this one doesn't. So this bit under here I want to be darker. And then this bit a bit lighter. You can just press less hard or do less layers and it looks a bit less deep, intense. Leave a little bit of a shine there because it's plastic, it would be a little bit shiny. So there we go. Now we have got our steam which comes out into a little heart shape. Not sure yet. Going to leave that for now. We'll move along to this little grinder. Now I'm thinking maybe it would be wood here, but the mechanism metal. So let's grab our greys again. I'm going to use the Cold Grey 5 this time. And do the edge here. Because this is rounded, I want this to be dark. And then a bit lighter in the middle and then dark on this side, like that, and the same here. And then on the top, like that. I'm not going to add any lighter colour. I think it makes it look a little bit different to that one. I rather like it. Now we want this wooden part. Oh, the handle. I think that would be a metal as well. So I've got my 5 again, Cold Grey 5. And I'm actually going to try to leave the centre white, go around the edge. Pretty tricky. Not too fast. We'll leave it there. Now we have our bistre. Someone told me in a comment that they thought it was pronounced like liter, but I can't pronounce. Is it beta? Is the S silent? I can't say bistre. I can't say it. So I'm going to look it up somewhere. What you can do on Google is you can put a word in and ask it to tell you how it sounds, so I do that. There's some shadow under here. I'm thinking this is wider, so it's going to be casting a bit of shadow there, and maybe there'd be a little bit more down here too, but this doesn't look like wood, it just looks like brown. So let's make it look more woody with our burnt umber. And I'm just going to add to the shadow a little bit first. Putting a line in there. Maybe a little bit under here. Maybe I'm just fussing about a bit. And then I'm going to put some wood grain in. you'll need a fairly sharp pencil to get some little lines. I'm thinking let's go across like that. There, maybe that looks more like wood, maybe it doesn't. Now we need our cocoa beans. I think, what colour is closest? I think I'm going to try the walnut brown. See how that works. Now the bit in the middle, this sort of line, that's going to be a bit darker because it's dipped in. So I'm going to put a bit more colour on that one and a bit less there, but I want them to be the same colour. And there. Maybe a bit more in the middle there. And the same here. Now you could shape them a little bit more by making them a bit darker on the outside, but I'm not sure it really is necessary. It's the first time I've ever coloured coffee beans. I think that's okay. The thing I'm struggling with is this cup. What colour is coffee? I'm going to try a colour and see how it looks. This is nougat. Let's try the nougat. Now, is this white, the pattern on the top of the coffee? You know how they make a little pattern? And should this bit be white and that bit be brown? Or I think I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. I'm just going to get my coffee colour. This isn't quite right for me. Let's put this down and have a think. I don't drink strong coffee. I'm gonna lighten that down a little bit with the raw umber. Just go on top. It's going to make it look a little bit more yellowy. So I want it to look a bit more. I think that'll do. Yeah. And obviously you can have your drinks all sorts of different colours. Now let's think about the cup and the hearts. Now I quite like the hearts to be pink or red. I just think it's rather cute. Let's get you in shot. There we go. So, and then I can make the cup match that idea. Yeah, I'm going to go for a delicate pink. This might just seem weird to you, but it's just how I want to do it. So this is Pink Madder Lake. And I'm going to do all the hearts in this delicate pink. I'm not going to press too hard. I want it to be quite light. I just think it's a bit more romantic. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but then nor does this. So I think it's fine. Oh, love in a coffee cup. And I'm thinking this you might really not want to do. Let's do a bit of pink love here. It's a bit out there, isn't it? But I just think, yeah. I don't know. Maybe not. So that was Pink Madder Lake, wasn't it? I'm wondering whether to use a madder for the cup or whether that's a little bit dark. Yeah, I think I'll go for something slightly lighter. I think I'll go for the middle purple pink. Light purple pink, sorry. Look at the cup. And cups are interesting. I like colouring cups. So what you want to do is have more intense colour on the edge. So layer it up here. I mean, Rita's given us a clue with her little lines. And then a bit lighter towards the middle. Do the same on this side. You don't have to have your lightest part right in the middle. I just always do. I just find it a bit easier. Like that. We do the same on this side. We might want to make it slightly darker because it's at the back, but I don't think it too much of a problem if it isn't. There we go. And now our handle, now it's going to be darker at the bottom, I suspect. A bit lighter on the top. I've got this other bit, I don't know what that is. Just do it in the same way, like that. Now the saucer, I'm thinking, oh actually that could have been a different colour, because I've got this bit and this bit. We'll do this sort of main bit here. And just keep the shine in the same place, so whether you've chosen to have it in the centre or on the side, doesn't matter, as long as it's the same place. The light's going to be hitting the cup in the same way. And then we'll go slightly darker for the other bit. So I'm going to use the fuchsia. You can't really see the name on here because it's been sharpened off almost. And I'm going to just do the same thing. So darker here and a bit lighter where. Leave a little bit of white. There we go. Just checking the time because I'm going to be cooking some mushrooms on toast for lunch. Delish. I know some people really loathe mushrooms. I've always liked them. So that's that, and I'm thinking I'm just going to darken this bit to sort of match. Still leaving that little white bit. I'm going to use that there. I just like that little heart. I like it. There we go. I think that's enough for that. I don't think I want to fiddle around with it anymore. We could put some shadows in under the items, could put some dots on the saucer and things, but actually I'm happy with it as it is, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So there is our first little picture from this page. So yeah, I've made you all want coffee now. Tomorrow will be biscuits, so be prepared. But thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.